Welcome to Seven Dads TV. I'm your host, Ken Wood. Before I get into today's very fun episode, I just want to say, go follow me on other platforms. I've reached 500,000 people with this fucking shitty little podcast. The views are hardly anything on YouTube in their full episodes. I do not care about these full episodes. The quality is shit. I need to get stuff figured out. I hate wearing this suit. This like suit thing. This is starting to turn yellow because I don't wash it, and there's a bunch of blunt smoke just fucking, caked on it. Go watch the clips, guys. 500,000 people have seen these clips on this podcast in the past 2 weeks. Something I'm very proud of. And when I get sponsors, I'll make this a little bit better for you guys. And if you're one of the 20 to 30 people that actually watch these full episodes, thank you so much. Even if you're a liberal comedian from Detroit that hates me and just watches and then watches my Instagram stories on some petty shit, thank you so much. Interactions count. Interactions count. I'm mad, guys. I'm mad. Okay. I'm kind of, Titoed, I'm kind of ticked off. Okay. Because tell me why Druski can do whiteface, but when I want to do an authentic Madea costume, I'm banned from my work Halloween parties. I thought this was America with equality, okay? My Madea costume was respectful, okay? Was respectful. I wouldn't put down an amazing black entrepreneur like Madea, okay? You guys don't understand. Madea has done a lot for the black community, okay? People don't understand that. She's like the Harriet Tubman for black comedy. She went through the underground and she did it her own way and got her own movies made, guys, okay? It's disgusting, guys. And this whole thing of blackface versus whiteface. Here's what I'll say, guys. Here's what I'll say. And this might be controversial. Blackface is one of my favorite American pastimes. Back in my day, 2008, no one really cared. We had a bunch of comedians doing blackface. I'm actually going to build a team, okay? And the team is going to consist of people who were very funny in 2008, okay? And they're going to all put on their blackface again, and we're going to go on tour, okay? And I don't really know what we're going to do on tour. We might do a band. They could do stand up, but who really wants to see those guys do stand up? Who really wants to see those guys do stand up anymore? I mean, in all honesty, now that I'm thinking of it, the only way I'm paying to see Jimmy Kimmel do stand up is if he's in blackface. That's the only way, guys. I just realized that. I really just realized that. Sarah Silverman, I'd see Sarah Silverman, okay? Regardless the difference me and the Silverbergstein Green have, but still I would see Sarah Silverman. Who's the other blackfaces? Howard Stern. Honestly, I wouldn't even see Howard Stern in blackface, guys. Howard Stern doesn't sit right with me, and I get that. I get you could say that what I'm doing was created. The pathway was created by Howard Stern, and honestly, he might. With YouTube censorship, like let's be honest, like he could probably get away with more on his radio show than we could here. All right, yeah. What else are we talking about, guys? And I'm just mad. I'm just mad. I think just mad about not being able to do blackface, guys. I'm just really mad. I really, when the Charlottesville riots happened, you guys remember those, like the alt-right, Richard Spencer, all those guys going down to Charlottesville. Around that time, I did write a Madea Goes to Charlottesville sketch, and it was going to be Madea being a bunch of white supremacists up with their purse and holler, and stuff like that. And in the not in the final version of the sketch. The sketch was never made. But, maybe I did want to put a little blackface in there, find a real black actor and then make fun. Because here's the thing about blackface, guys. And I know a lot of people are, curious to see what this Tucker Carlson looking motherfucker says about blackface. Here's the thing about blackface. White comedians ended up kind of getting away with it if it was in the joke of like irony of like, oh my God, they're doing blackface. That's kind of how like all the comedy of like the last 20 years went. I mean, whether it was Always Sunny, I believe Sarah Silverman, and a couple other shows. But yeah, hey, it didn't make the final version of the sketch. That's all I'm going to say. And a lot of people, and I know this battle between, left versus right, and I'll always stick up for comedians, trying to be funny, whether it's a low blow, low hanging fruit, whatever. Just don't be offended when it comes back around, man, because there's a lot of liberals that are acting like their feelings don't get hurt, when shit happens, dude. And I swear, honestly, I think Jake Paul said he was going to do a blackface sketch, and that's the guy we need. I didn't realize Jake Paul was going to be, or no, it's Logan Paul. Yeah. Logan Paul said he was going to do a blackface sketch in response to Druski's whiteface sketch. And I didn't realize Logan Paul is the hero we need. I didn't realize it, dude. This year he's going to have a blackface sketch. 10 years, he's going to be the president, dude. Count on that. And maybe the WWE champion. I got hopes. Guys. And here's the thing, and I get the suit, and the suit really isn't me. I just like wearing it. I think it catches people's eyes on the clips. 500,000 views. Hey, that 500,000 views is a lot, guys. That's a lot of shitty comedy clubs. People seeing your shit. So the thing about me is like, I've had different phases of white people. I've had a hippie phase. I've had like a punker, punk rock phase. Yeah, I had a hippie phase, punk rock phase. I had a scene phase, that kind of weird shit. I even had a wigger phase. Wigger. You hear that? W. Do you hear that better? W. You can't let them get ahead of you. You can't let those clippers. Yeah, those clippers. I see you clippers out there. Yeah, I'm calling you clippers with a hard ER. It was a W. But a lot of people don't realize that about me. Coming from Metro Detroit, I did have, a wigger phase. I had a ghetto white guy phase, and I miss ghetto white guys, right, guys? We need more ghetto white guys nowadays. I miss ghetto white guys with the fitted hats and the Jordans and, the Echo jeans, you know what I'm saying? Boys still rocking Echo, you know what I'm saying? They're smoking Swisher Sweets, That was a cool white guy, guys. It's hard to be a cool white guy nowadays, okay? Two coolest white guys we have, Paul Rudd, Kanye West. See, obviously one of them not white. It's Paul Rudd. He's Jewish. See? I got you there, guys. Kanye, he's one of us. We claim Kanye. Kanye is our generation's Michael Jackson, okay? Because he's turning white from the inside out. Got him. Guys, if you don't like that bit, I do that bit every week at the VFW, and they fucking love it, dude. They love some Kanye. Kanye just got banned from a festival. And, if Kanye only really knew that his audience is in a VFW, in Texas, if he only knew that, he could probably be going to where he's accepted. Come as you are to the VFW. So they like to say. All right, moving on, guys. We're going to do some headlines, get into some sports headlines, some politics. We're going to start with this. Rapper J. Cole actually signed a deal with a Chinese basketball team called the Monkey Kings. Some jokes write themselves. Boom. That's a clip, guys. You see that? That's a clip. That's gonna get fucking 4 trillion views on TikTok because everyone's gonna be rage baiting. That's all this is, guys. That's all this is. It's just rage baiting. I'm just joking. Come on, man. You couldn't pick a different team? Is that the only team that needed a 6'2" point guard? Come on, Jay. Come on. I like J. Cole. Love Yours. That's a great song, dude. Great song. I think everyone can, admit that. Jaden Ivy, former Piston, now Chicago Bull. Jaden Ivy was released because of his anti-gay remarks. And now that his basketball career is over, I'm sure he's going to have a great career as a podcaster in Austin, Texas. That's another clip, guys. You see that shit? I'm just fucking flowing with it, dude. I'm flowing with it. I didn't even really like the flow of that one, but that one's going to be a clip, guys. All right. What else? Everyone's talking about draft, dude. Everyone's talking about the draft, like getting drafted for Iran and stuff like that. And I'll be honest, guys, I'm not getting drafted. Okay. I'm not getting drafted. I'm 6'5" and I can't even dunk. Okay. So I'm not getting drafted, whoever we draft to go play Iran in, this upcoming World War tournament or whatever they draft for. I just hope they can dunk. That I think J. Cole can dunk. To be honest with you, J. Cole could jam. So maybe they should draft J. Cole if he wants to play for China. Or oh my God, we got a traitor. I didn't even realize that. J. Cole's a spy. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. All right. We're moving on, guys. Tiger Woods, man. I love Tiger Woods, dude. Tiger Woods, man. Tiger Woods has 2 DUIs. He crashed 4 cars and he cheated on his wife. He is the most relatable professional athlete in American history. I could be Tiger Woods. Okay. I didn't realize my dad was that close to Tiger Woods. Okay. Seriously, dude. If that made you a sports goat, my dad would be fucking, the goat, dude. Holy shit. Tiger Woods, man. The thing about Tiger Woods is, why he's still beloved is because we can all see a little bit of ourselves in Tiger, man. That's, God, you got to respect him, man. You got to respect him. Kristi Noem. We're going to get into politics, guys. Kristi Noem. Kirsty. Is it Kirsty? Kristi. It's Kristi. I always want to call her Kirsty. I don't know. I don't like the way the name is spelled, I don't like the way the name is spelled. Kristi Noem. Oh, yeah. You hear that? I had a good wrap today. Had a good goat cheese wrap. That's that coming up with that weed pen and some Starbucks iced coffee, Love goy slop. Okay, moving on, guys. Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem, okay? Her husband obviously got outed as being, having a weird little fetish. And I think liberals are mad because her husband fills out a tank top way better than they ever can. Dude, he's kind of stacked, dude. He's kind of stacked, He's got a busty, Kristi Noem's husband. Busty Kristi Noem's husband. That boy's stacked. And honestly, dude, as a possibly a white male, hey, dude, I just wanted to, you ever see that James Franco meme of him being like, from The Rope, and he looks over and he's like, first time, man, as somebody who likes to pay, a bunch of, dominatrix, first time, buddy, you don't send your face, dude. Come on, brother. You were asking for it, dude. You had a fucking, I feel bad for the dog. I'm pretty sure there was a picture and the dog was in the background. I really feel bad for the dog that he had to witness that, dude. I can only imagine. And I was like, didn't she kill a dog? That dog, someone needs to save that dog. That dog's going to get taken away, dude, by PETA. Holy shit, man. Speaking of animals and violence, Trump threatened Iran right next to an Easter bunny. And that's the most gangster shit I've ever heard. Like, seriously, there are terrorists in Iran that are deathly afraid of that image right there. That is awesome. Your favorite gangsters do not compare to threatening an all-out war while standing next to the Easter Bunny. And the Easter Bunny didn't even know what was going on. You could tell it was like, is he really doing this shit? Is he actually doing this? Is he actually threatening it? He also mentioned, Biden's auto pen to, the kids, as he signed autographs. And to be honest, that's hilarious. That's funny, dude. Trump needs a podcast. Trump could easily go on Blaze Media. No. Honestly, that honestly could happen, dude. Oh, man. I want to give a shout out to one of my favorite celebrities. It was his birthday. I just want to say happy birthday to Steven Tyler, lead singer of Aerosmith and one of the lead stars in all of the Scream movies. Steven Tyler was one of my favorite celebrities growing up. He's one of the greatest singers of all time, one of the greatest actors in the Scream movies. I just saw Scream 7 and I was like, damn, dude, Steven Tyler looks good. He looks good for being old, man. Looks good, dude. So just had to give a shout out to Steven Tyler. Michigan basketball. I'm going to give another shout out to Michigan basketball, guys. We won the national championship last night. I know this episode might get, delayed a couple days because I got plans. I got plans. I'm a big guy doing big plans in Austin, Texas. Thriving in Austin, Texas. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, Michigan basketball, guys. Michigan basketball. First of all, great fucking performance. Love it. We made UConn our bitch, dude. We showed them up in the paint, and stuff like that. And everyone hates Michigan fans, okay? People always think that Michigan fans think that they're better than everyone, okay? the thing is, Michigan fans know they're better than everyone. I mean, come on, let's be honest. The Big House is one of the coolest stadiums of all time. The color scheme is dope as fucking actually unique. Great history in every fucking sport, great education, whatever, it's great, dude. It's they got hash bash every year on Ann Arbor campus where you can just smoke weed, even though the cop said this year you ain't smoking weed. I think that's this weekend. I wonder if there's going to be a clash in Ann Arbor over the weed smoke. But yeah, they're better. We're better. And Michigan State, dude, come on, man. You guys got Tom Izzo, and you guys can't even get a fucking chip, dude. When's the last time you guys got a chip, dude? Come on, bro. Let's be honest here. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna kind of wrap this up. When it comes back to black and white face, I think my honest opinions are comedy's comedy. You could bitch about the history of blackface and whatever, but you're still constantly doing it, and you're still adding to the history of trying to portray another race for entertainment. So if you're sensitive, I don't know what to tell you. You got to buckle up, dude. There's nothing more American than freedom of speech, and if you're a comedian that gets offended, then maybe you should stop. How about that? How about that, motherfucker? Trying to only do comedy that appeases to 50 people in a fucking small broom, back room of a fucking comedy club. Not good. So I think like Matt Rife, kind of said it perfect of like, when it comes back around, you can't act offended. And here's the thing about Matt Rife. I respect Matt Rife, not because of what you guys think, but Matt Rife got canceled way before he was famous for saying the N-word. He called someone a F-word, N-word. And once again, guys, I grew up with a bunch of, ghetto white guys. So I respect that, dude. I respect that. I'd hang out with him. So he knows, if you can't take these jokes, I don't know, man, try to write for fucking Miss Rachel or whatever, like if you're a comedian that's fucking really offended by real world or someone trying something, yeah, try to write for Miss Rachel, dude. I'm sure she's hiring, some fucking comedians. What else? And then, I don't really care about the Erica Kirk thing. I mean, like I said, it's like low hanging fruit. You know what I'm saying? Erica Kirk is kind of like the girl you went to high school with that blew a dog, but now she tries to sell stuff on Facebook, like that. That's really it, Yeah. If you know of any sponsors, please send them over to me. I'm working right now with the Israeli army to sponsor me. And I hope that once I get the Israeli army on my, side, that things will look up. If I reach 500,000 people without the Israeli army, imagine what I can do with the Israeli army. All right, guys, you know what it is. Like and subscribe. There's a QR code that you can scan, and it'll automatically donate your entire next paycheck to the Israeli army. You know how it is, guys. Have a good night.